What's up, everyone? This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBIC, the head bum in charge, along with Bologna, the Southside Bum, and Dougie, freshness. And you know what? I've been thinking the last couple of weeks when we start the show. I think it's time we get a new intro.
I've been thinking about that for a long time, a long time. I think baseball season starting. Time for a new refresh of everything. Yeah, we should get to work on that. Who's gonna do it? I don't know because I don't want to, but we should do that.
Yeah, we're not good with the computer generated graphics and the graphic designing and stuff like that.
Well, don't sell yourself short. We'll find out after your guys' descriptions of the rest of you guys, because we have that AI generated bums coming up later. So you never know, Jason. Maybe we get ChatGPT to do something.
Yeah, that's all the rage now. I was the AI shit, man. Like, feel like there's this 108 tourney is going to be a lot of AI shit going around.
Yeah, congratulations to the 1 seeds. That was announced earlier today on the Au Jus. I know Missy Carroll's in the comments, a 1 seed. Celeste Spaghetti, your co-host for an upcoming show.
That's right.
Another 1 seed. It's exciting. It's exciting time for the people that care about that kind of stuff, which is a select few of White Sox Twitter and other people. It's a big deal though. It's exciting.
Yeah. A couple people in the comments saying about my clean shavenness. Yes, it's the grays were like very protrude the past few days. Like, so I had to get rid of them for a bit.
You do look younger. You look younger when it's not like, when you got the gray and black.
Like I almost have full gray beard going now. So, but yeah, I don't like my clean shavenness. I like a little scruff, like a little 5 o'clock shadow on that. But guys, how you doing? Dougie, you are back. You survived your poopy pants or whatever it is you had there, but you're feeling good, my man?
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. Might mute a couple times today with a little slight cough still, but yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I appreciate everybody that reached out to me. Yeah, dude, it was wild. Like Thursday night, the one video you got to check out was the short that I did for the National Margarita Day. And I looked at it, and after I recorded it, I'm like, man, I feel like shit. I look like shit. And yeah, and then after that, I was in a coma for like 2 days. I didn't talk to nobody, nothing, dude. I was out sleeping.
We were worried about you, man, because I sent you a text like asking about beer recommendations and didn't hear back, and then we were group texting, nothing from you. Finally, Mary sent us a message like, yeah, he's dead, not literally, but.
Dude, I tell you what, to quote the late great Johnny Cash, you could run on for a long time. You could run on for a long time, but sooner or later, gotta put you down. And I was running at a pretty good pace between work and life and everything like that. I got put down.
You were burning the candle at both ends. That's what you were doing. So yeah, You were due for one of these.
Yep. I got put out, but I'm back.
Now you're leaving again. So
soon. Vacation.
But guys, how was your weekend? It was what's any I know, Johnny, you have a Seinfeld Larry David story. We'll get to you. But anyone else have a funny weekend story?
I saw Dune and I'm very excited about it, but I don't want to bore you guys with nerd talk. So yeah, I purposely held off on watching Dune because I knew there's the comparisons that like Star Wars is based off of Dune and all these things. And I'm like, if I watch it, I knew I was gonna get into it. Yeah, I'm super into it. I watched like 2 hours worth of like YouTube backstories and stuff like that. So I'm all Dune all the time.
Did you get the souvenir popcorn bucket though?
I haven't seen Dune 2 yet, but I'm excited to go this week. So yeah. Hold on.
Get that, man. That could be, you could sell on the black market, make some coin.
Oh yeah. 108 tournaments coming up. You can make some good content with that popcorn bucket.
That is true. I mentioned I shaved and I look younger, but I did a very old person thing on Friday and I played bunco.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
With who?
Yeah.
For why?
My family. My family decided that they want to do bunco nights the first Friday of every month, and it's supposed to be for, like usually it's just like supposed to be for the women in the family who play. And there was a couple like last minute cancellations due to obligations and sickness, and I got tagged in. I got forced. My sister basically did like the ear thing, and had to play bunco. So I had no idea how to play, and now I was forced to play. So
to tell you the truth, I don't know what the shit bunco is, but I know it's for old people. So you are officially you're washed, my man.
Dude, it was. I remember like how my mom used to always tell me about like bunco nights, with all her girls, and this was like 30 years ago, and now I'm getting roped into it, and I'm hoping that next month it rotates between the families, between my siblings. So we got to host it next month. So I hope I don't have to play. I hope I can just sit at the bar and drink and make drinks for my, make cocktails for my family. But yeah, bunco is I'd rather play Yahtzee.
So my first question, sorry, Dougie, but is this like a gambling thing? Can you win money playing bunco?
Yes.
All right, so that's all we got to do is to kind of like make it worth your while.
I guess the question that I got to ask is it before 4:30 supper or after 4:30 supper?
The gilf scene is my family beef, so I'm not gonna address the gilfs.
Pretty good.
But yeah, some people get really aggressive with it and into it. So, but you can't win money. I did not win money though.
Now, second question. I'm always thinking content. Is there a way we can make bunco, put some spins on it, whether it be drinking or other, and then call it bumco? Can we film? Can we film bumco?
Yeah.
Make it into a drinking game.
Okay.
Can we make it into a drinking game?
We could make it into a drinking game.
What are the rules? I don't know anything about this. Is it bingo? Is it Yahtzee? Like you said, Yahtzee?
It's like Yahtzee. Like just high level. You basically have to roll like 3 of a kind. You only get 3 dice though, and you have to roll 3 of a kind, and you have to like race to like 21 points. So yeah, that's basically like bunco in a nutshell. There's a lot more like. You have to have like 12 people though, which is ridiculous to play a game.
12 people. I don't even know
need
12 people.
I know. That's why I'm saying. That's why like I got forced to play because when a couple people back out, there's no alternates, and it's like then I'm getting forced to play a game I was like I'd never even heard of in my life. So
yeah, no, we're out, dude. Like we couldn't even get 12 people to our first couple of whiskey at Comiskey's. We're not gonna get 12 people to play bumco.
Maybe if there's bourbon involved, so
true. All right, let's get to this. I've been
let's get Johnny. Let's get to your your coffee house story, which we all assume was just polecats. Did they serve coffee at polecats?
No, I just came back from polecats actually before the Ajou. So anyways, I don't want to talk about it. We're not talking about polecats today. We're going to talk about that coffee shop incident that happened. And I as many people know, I moved into Bridgeport in December. I'm not going to share my location of exactly where, but if you live in around the area of Bridgeport, you probably have an idea of where this coffee shop might be. But anyways, I went in there, was hungry, wanted to have some breakfast and whatnot. And as I was in line, I was waiting for the cashier to ask me like, hey, like, what do you want up next and stuff like that. So I was waiting there, and some guy all of a sudden just comes in and just cuts me. He doesn't even ask and say, hey, by the way, are you in line? He didn't even ask. He just went. I think he looked at me too, and he just went and just decided to just go in versus just asking me, hey, are you in line? Because I was actually in line. It's not that I was like away from the line. He just all of a sudden just cut me off. So I couldn't believe it. I was actually in shock. My whole thing is that, have you ever had an incident where like, I would think that would be more common courtesy. Like people would say like, excuse me. I do that all the time. I'm always asking, hey, are you in line or whatever. I'm always asking. So do you get the same thing too, where if you feel like that should be the appropriate way that somebody should be asking you versus just going and cutting in line?
Wait, first question though. Did you say something?
I did not say something because I was just like, I was like, I was in shock. Usually I do say shit. I was actually just shocked that this guy didn't even ask me, hey, are you in line?
All
I
right.
would have said something.
I know you would say something. You would for sure say something. I feel like Dougie, you would too. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I have a story that just actually happened. Me and Joey P were in the line at the United Center, and we were waiting to get some tequila shots. And this dude who was a spitting image of Justin Bieber tried cutting the entire line, and nobody was saying nothing. So I just said it, and Joey P was standing right there. He'll contest to it. I was like, "Hey, Beeves," and the dude actually turned around and fucking reacted to it. And I'm like, "Line's back that way," and he goes, "My bad," and left. So it worked.
Brewhan Luke is asking, how far away are you from the counter that he was able to cut in front of you? You were next in line? You were next?
I was literally about to go and say, like, hey, I was going to say my order, and all of a sudden he cut me. So I wasn't that far off the counter. But my whole point was, like, he didn't even ask. I was close enough to order, but he just decided just not even asking. He just cut.
Yeah, you got to say something. It depends. If it's like an old lady that maybe didn't see you, I wouldn't have said anything.
Hey, I wouldn't have said anything.
That being said,
totally fine.
I'm almost like a Jekyll and Hyde person. It takes a lot to get me pissed off. And we're like, if in a restaurant situation, Julie will say something right away. Julie's the muscle. Julie's my muscle. But when I lose patience, if I'm already standing in line, or if I'm in a hurry, or I've been waiting already, that's when I lose patience, and it's like, fuck the world. Like, I get very pissed. So I probably would have said something in that scenario, Johnny. But otherwise, yeah, like, I guess, I mean, you had nowhere to be, right?
No, I didn't. I was in a hurry. This was in the morning, so it wasn't like nothing where I was just like, I had to be somewhere, or it was something like, it would upset me that much. But the thought of just thinking of, like, hey, because I do it all the time. If I see that, hey, I don't know if you're in line or not, I'll ask. I'll do common courtesy and just ask. This motherfucker just decided to go and cut me, knowing that I was pretty much next in line, and he didn't even say anything. So I was just more in shock at that point. I didn't do a Larry David and say, hey, excuse me and stuff like that. I didn't go to that point, but it was just more of just like an observation, saying, like, what the fuck just happened right now?
The one thing that I was just thinking about too is, now I'm actually kind of thinking of the scenario a little bit differently. I don't know how I would be pre-coffee. I don't know if I'd have that much like angst in me yet. I'm two different people, pre and post coffee in the morning.
That's interesting. Now, all right, now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and this is for sure like not a dig at you, Johnny. But how big was the guy? Was it possible he didn't see you? Like, if it's like, our friend Chris. No, I'm just saying for real. Like our friend Chris McNally's like 6'7". Like, is it possible he didn't see you?
He was the same height as Jason. He wasn't much taller than me.
No, fuck that guy.
I can understand if Andre the Giant didn't see me. Okay, I get that, but this guy wasn't that. Forget about the short jokes.
I was just looking devil's advocate. I was playing devil's advocate.
You're already starting with this whole 10830. It's not even started yet.
No, that was nothing to think. No. Okay. See, no, that was you.
You're an asshole. You know that? You're an asshole. I'm just saying it right now.
We got everyone on edge. God damn it, B Flynn in the comments just laughing.
Next couple BumCasts are just gonna be bum on bum crime, man.
This is what he wants. Don't indulge him. This is what he wants.
Chaos.
Well, yeah, I definitely would have said something, because Peter, I'm with you. I have like zero patience for that shit, especially when I've been waiting in line for something. Like, I'm in the category of like, this is America, I want it now. So if I have to wait more than 5 minutes for something, I start getting antsy, and then I just lose my shit if someone cuts in front of me, or because they happen. That shit happens all the time. Like when I go grocery shopping, they have like the self checkouts, but like they don't really have lines for the self checkouts. It's like a free for all for those checkouts. So like if all of them are taken, no one knows where to stand properly, and you're like waiting there, and someone just like tries to like, oh hey, I'm just gonna come up on your your 2 o'clock and try to cut in front of you, and you're like, no, buddy, like fucking get in the back of the line there. Like,
Missy's got a good question. Johnny, I didn't even know you as a coffee guy. I don't think I've ever seen you drink coffee.
I'm not. No, it's a coffee shop, but they also have other things there. They have like donuts. They have like, it wasn't like where I was ordering coffee. I had like a breakfast wrap day over there, which was, by the way, was really good. I can't stand coffee. I hate coffee. And
That's
it
what I
had-
was. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Did you get a
and it had-
smoothie? You're a smoothie
No.
guy.
No, I went. I have water at home, but I hate coffee from my dad. My dad used to, make coffee before he took me to school, and every time he made that coffee, it's. I'm sorry to say this, but I hated it. I hated the smell of coffee,
Ah,
and I still
love
do.
the smell of roasted coffee.
I can't take it. So, sorry, no coffee order.
All right. Well, hopefully, if you run into him again, you establish your dominance.
I actually,
next time you gotta say like, "Hey, don't you know who I am?"
I'm very good at like
The Southside Bum.
like just remembering like faces and all that. If I see this guy again, I do frequent that place.
It's on site.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna be like, I might say something, but at this right now, I was totally fine. It was Sunday morning, everything was all calm and cool, so I let it slide.
That is the most Larry David thing ever. Like if you go back to the conversation, be like, "Hey, you remember 2 weeks ago when you caught me in line?"
Yeah.
I'll bring that shit up. I'll bring it back.
I love it.
March 2nd, 2024.
Yeah.
Right. Time of the crime.
All right, let's move on here. I have a couple quick headlines I want to share with you guys, and we're not gonna. But we didn't want to put this in bum and MVBs, but some old man shouting at cloud stuff here. So, first one I want to bring up with you guys is Netflix. They decided that they're going to raise their prices again this year after just raising their rates. I think it was like September or October last year, so it was only been like a couple months. Is this, what would it take for you guys to be like, all right, I'm done with Netflix? Like, is it getting to that point now, or is Netflix just kind of like the de facto for streaming?
I'll answer right away. You might as well charge me $100. I'd still pay it. One, because I'm too lazy to. When you told me, Jason, that you unbundled Hulu and ESPN and Disney Plus, I was like, that sounded like it could have been 3 clicks. That is so much of a hassle. I'd rather not do it. I'd rather pay the extra $9.99 or whatever it is. But the other thing is, between Netflix, Disney Plus, and all this stuff, there's at times at our house 4 tablets or 4 screens going at the same time. One's on YouTube, another thing's Coco Melon. My daughter's watching it one thing, Julie's watching another, and they're all on different streaming platforms. So I need them all. So like I said, they could keep raising prices. I'm gonna pay them.
At the end of the day, we're basically paying cable prices once again.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is that, I got YouTube TV. Peter, you got me into it a long time ago. So I was like, oh, this is great. $79 for a month. Perfect. It's all the channels I need. I don't need anything else. Then when you started noticing that, like you have Netflix, you got Hulu, you have Paramount Plus, you got all these other streaming services. Yeah, Peacock as well too. By the way, I get for free for Xfinity. Thank you very much. But anyways, yeah, if you add all that shit up, and now that Netflix is starting to develop all these, like, obviously they've developed shows. They're gonna have like they just got that announcement with WWE. They're gonna have like Monday Night Raw in there as well too. Like, it's gonna start getting bigger, and they're gonna start charging a lot more. So at the end of the day, I'm basically paying for basically cable prices when you lump everything up.
Well, that's why they're charging more, because of WWE now. Thank you, fucking Vince McMahon, you piece of shit. Yeah, that I think for me, it's I think I might just cancel it. I lost myself there.
Are we losing
myself?
Jason?
Yeah.
This is now like 2-3 times in a row now. Yeah. Do we lose him?
Well, I don't know. So here's my thought on Netflix. The day when I go on there and can't randomly find something, which I do absolutely every single time because they keep their content and their interface so fresh, that's when I would actually consider it. But it's like anytime I want to like watch just a documentary, it's like all right there in my face, and they are the best at it. Their interface is the best. Yeah, I don't think it would take a lot for me to cancel them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm tied into it. All right, Jason, give us the next one. Did we lose them completely?
Am I back?
No.
Am I back?
No.
We are live, by the way.
Yeah, we are live. I should probably start talking and let
Yeah.
Jason figure it out. Jason, why did
I'm
you
having
leave and
telephone
come
internet.
back? Yeah, you're super glitchy. I'm gonna run an ad before we get to the next headline. And Jason, if you want to reboot or whatever, you could do that. But we announced Whiskey at Comiskey. We announced all of the dates to Whiskey at Comiskey. The opening day, March 28th, 3:10 p.m. versus the Tigers. We will be in Lot B 2.5 hours before the first pitch, or whenever they let us in Lot B. And Jason worked hard on getting 2 different announcements ready. We love our announcements, and Jason loves his announcements. Whiskey at Comiskey will be featuring Michter's whiskey. And if you guys watch our Bourbon Bums videos, you guys know how much of a fan we are of Michter's. All of the Michter's products, we will be bringing those to the tailgates on Thursday, March 28th. I'm drinking a little Bombergers, a Michter's product now. But not only that, we have a professional chef, Chef Brian Ruddy at Chicago Fight Sox, coming along for the ride. He's going to be cooking up a storm. He tweeted out the menu, which we have right here. Jerry's Tiny Wieners, which are mini hot dogs, Maxwell Street Sliders, Broughton Pepper Tacos, Cracker Jack Bourbon Balls. I'm very excited for this. One, because now Jason doesn't have to work and cook and stuff like that. He can mingle and socialize and work the bourbon table and all that stuff. But we're excited, man. The Whiskey at Comiskey is our, it's our tried and true, our basically, it's our jam. And I'm very excited about it. I know you guys all are. So yeah, get those RSVPs in. They are at our pinned Twitter page, the pinned tweet in the Twitter. And yeah, please RSVP. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jason, are you back?
All right. I think so. I don't think I'm glitchy anymore.
You sound good.
All right. Okay, so we'll skip the Netflix talk. Good job on the ad read. Yes, Michter's will be the featured bourbon whiskey of our tailgates. So shout out to Michter's. We love them. All right, the second one I got for you guys is, I feel like every time I open the Twitter machine, I see it, and I'm sick of it. We've said it before. We don't like it. It's the reboots. First off, you got The Crows being remade with Bill Skarsgård, and then Seth MacFarlane is rebooting The Naked Gun with funny man Liam Neeson. I didn't know he was funny at all. But Liam Neeson, of all people, is going to be the next Naked Gun. I feel like, we said it before, like that as much as nostalgia plays nowadays, just stop doing fucking reboots of everything. Come up with something original. We don't need, like, Ghostbusters was good. You don't need a reboot of all the Ghostbusters. Now you got Naked Gun. There was talks of doing Scarface again. And there's just pretty much any franchise you can think of from 20, 30 years ago is being rebooted in some capacity. And then here you got, for the new Crow, it looks like they're trying to take off the Jared Leto's Joker with that. Like, that's not even, I can't even tell from the photo if he's got the white face paint or not, but it doesn't look like it. But out of all the action movies I've seen with Liam Neeson, has he ever made you laugh?
I didn't think this was a for real thing. When you told me that, I'm like, you mean Leslie Nielsen? He's like, no, Liam Neeson. Also, I think, like, as a population, are we done with Seth MacFarlane? I mean, Family Guy was funny 15 years ago, and the Ted movie, the first one, maybe, but I think he's ran his course, right?
Yeah. I mean, at some of the stuff, I guess he could still do, but he had that show on Fox, like the space show, I think it was, that was just meh. I think Ted 2 can be, I haven't watched all of the Ted series. People said it was pretty good, but he had a movie, like a Western movie, that was pretty funny. Yeah. You didn't like that one?
I don't know if his style of comedy is for me. Even Family Guy, like the first 2-3 seasons were really good, because it was different, but I don't know. Maybe I'll pass. But who's asking for these things? Nobody.
Well, they
No,
also
yes.
they also I wanted to add another one too onto this is they also added American Psycho as possibly another
Oh,
reboot.
no.
Yes,
You
you're right.
can't, and American Psycho with Christian Bale is one of my favorite movies of all time. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's it's a more of a I feel more of a guy movie, but it's like a lot of like horror and all this other stuff. But they're trying to make that as well too, and I agree. Like, but you got to think about it as well too. In movies, they've done this. They've recycled movies over and over again to try to make it like either better than the original or whatnot. I mean, they had the Untouchables back before they had I can't remember the director who did it in 1989, but that Untouchables was a lot better than the original one that they came out with. So I feel like this is just going to be a reoccurring thing. It's just regurgitation with movies is that they're going to continue doing this over and over again. Like in 30 years, we're going to be talking about them remaking, I don't know what current movie that there's out right now, but they'll probably do something like that.
Dune again.
Yeah,
Just
Dune.
keep
They're
making
probably
Dunes.
they'll probably make Dune. Yeah, 2050 or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, it's just I just think that I don't know if they're running out of ideas or nothing's like creative nowadays, or I feel like there's other things that you can like definitely do. Like for one thing, as a kid from the 80s, when are we ever gonna have a Thundercats movie? I want to see that a film. Like that would be a good one to put out there. Like they haven't thought about that, Just
All right. Thundercats.
So, yeah.
Hey. Before we get to some sports talk here, Joey P said in the comments, the Bears made a trade, and I'll just run it down for you real quick. They traded with the Bills. We got offensive lineman Ryan Bates for a 5th round pick in the 2024 draft. So we got a lineman.
Big boy.
Offensive lineman Ryan Bates.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Good. It's not the Justin Fields trade that Bears fans are on pins and needles for, but it's something good. So
I mean,
job,
Bills O-line is good. I mean, they're
Mhm.
good at protecting Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen also runs for his life, but that's because he's athletic. No, the Bills O-line is good. I don't know the grades on the Pro Football Focus grades on Ryan Bates, but anything solidifying that offensive line is a good thing. So I'm not going to complain about it just yet.
Nope. All right. Let's get to a little White Sox talk here. The spring training, not that good, but we're going to talk about that so far. We're going to wait and see how the roster rounds out right before the season starts. But I had a question for you guys that I wanted to bring up to you. So besides Luis Robert, which of the 4 core guys between Benintendi, Andrew Vaughn, Moncada, Eloy, do you think is going to have a bounce back season?
I personally think Benintendi needs one more than anybody else. I think he needs to avenge Herb Lawrence and get that 10 home run spot that he was supposed to get. I mean, that should have been, I shouldn't say a cakewalk, but it should have been doable for him. Just coming off of that first year, like, my God, it's just like every time the White Sox sign somebody, it's just like, it's the kiss of death. Like they're just going to suck going forward, and I think he's the guy out of all of them that needs to, earn his wage,
I think Eloy. When Eloy's healthy, and I don't want to jinx him over here, so I'm gonna knock on wood here real quick. But when he's healthy, he could put up numbers. I mean, you've seen it like when he first came up. He was putting up numbers, and he's raking in spring training right now. He's actually doing really well. Just hopefully he doesn't try to do something like how he did a couple years ago where he got injured. But again, knock on wood. But yeah, I think that he could definitely bounce back. He could definitely, possibly hit like 20 home runs, 25 home runs. It's I love Eloy because he's such a good guy. Everybody loves Eloy, but obviously you don't pay good guys to like win baseball games. And I feel like he can definitely have that bounce back. And again, he's doing really well in spring training right now. And I hope it continues on into the season. So I'm going to say Eloy.
Jason, when you first approached us to this question, I wondered why you added Andrew Vaughn to this list, because for you to bounce back means you had to have done something in your career.
I should have said I should have prefaced that by saying, because Sam Reeves made this comment, he doesn't need to bounce back. He said a career high in home runs last season. Do my research. He needs to progress, not bounce back. He needs to progress. So let's we can maybe just throw him in a separate one-off.
That's immediately
in the sidebar.
I scratched him off the list. Like he's had 3 years. He was obviously rushed into the majors by the White Sox, and we expected big things, but he hasn't had a.
He hasn't had that. Yeah, you're right. He hasn't had like that boom career year. Like, oh man, he's, he hasn't had like the Moncada year and then fell off. So
of the three, the potential is there for Eloy to be the guy. Like he's got the power, he's got the hitting. He I think like we look at Eloy as something like, wow, he could really be, a big bat for the Sox, but he just hasn't put it all together. A lot of it has to do with him being healthy. So if we're talking bounce back, it's got to be either Benintendi and Moncada. And Drew Buggs is in the comments saying Moncada career year. Moncada's best year is by far, his 2019 year is better than any of the other three guys by far. Benintendi had a really good year in 2017 where he, like, I think he's washed. I think he doesn't have it. It's almost like 6-7 years now that we're waiting on something. I think the contract year for Moncada, I think he's the one that, like, he's been showing it in spring training, and it's gonna sound bad because it's like when healthy, and this goes for all of the White Sox, not just these four guys, but like the quote unquote when healthy, whether Kopech and everything else. But yeah, I think the writing's on the wall that Moncada's going to want to get one last big contract, and this year's the year to do it. So that he's my pick.
He wouldn't be the first professional athlete to have like a great year and then fall off after they get paid. Because a lot of that happens when they come to the White Sox too, even though they don't get paid a lot. But when they sign a free agent deal, then remember Adam Dunn? Oh man, we thought he was going to be good.
Yeah.
LaRoche. Yeah.
Who's your answer, Jay?
Yeah. Oh, it's Eloy for me. I mean, because he's been doing so good in spring training so far, and yes, it's spring training, but it's like when you see that, you're just like, man, like that's what we kind of hope when we sign it. We don't want ground outs to third and short anymore. Like we don't want any more of that shit from him. We want that power. We want that 40 home runs a year that we were all told was going to happen. That we got sold on. And they hopefully with the Sox with getting like with their training staff this year, they keep him healthy. He said he wants to play 150. Last year, the only two people who played 150 were Vaughn and Benintendi. Mm-hmm. So it's not a lot of people who get that many games in. So let's hope that and I think Lou Bob last year had like 140 or something like that. So he was up there too, but if he wants 150, that's a lofty goal from him. I would say let's settle for like 120, 130 first. Before
130 would be great. That being said, if it's 150 and he's mashing the ball into the second baseman like he did all of last year, I don't want 150 of that. I need him to hit like for power, like we all thought he can. So if he's just like grounding in the second, like the grounding, like just ground balls, like no, thank you.
Well, if you notice too, he has a whole new batting stance as well too. So I don't know if that's like been helping him as well too. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm trying to praise him right now because he's doing in spring training. I want these guys to. We're all passionate. We want them to succeed. And if it's a little batting stance that's going to change him to hit these home runs versus what you don't want to see is these ground outs. Hopefully it works.
And you know what I do like about this offseason that I've noticed, and it's obviously like they're making it a point of it. Luis Robert, Eloy, and Moncada are really vocal about everyone else and like them, like about each other. Like they're really gassing each other up. Like Moncada's talking about Robert's talking about Eloy's talking about both of them. And it's like it seems like they're taking a more vocal approach of like, we got to be the leaders on this team. Whether or not they can be is a question left to be seen, because it sounds like Luis would rather be in the shadows. But this is his team, man. I mean, Jason, we've talked about it and we've said it a bunch of times. It's Luis Robert and a bunch of dudes. If he wants to be vocal and he wants to take this team by the reins, by all means, because you're the superstar.
Yeah. Father Zoe says, be cool if a show did a frame-by-frame breakdown of Eloy's new swing. Yeah. There was a
Yeah.
certain good podcast that did that, and
Wednesday nights,
news-
8 p.m. on the
Yeah.
YouTubes, Pinwheels and Ivy.
Yeah. So maybe the new swing is actually going to work for him. Let's hopefully it translates into the regular season. But I like what I see so far from Eloy in spring. And once if the power gets there and he's mashing along with Lubob, and the two of them are putting up almost 100 home runs between them. That's I'm not saying they're going to hit 100. I'm saying almost get to like 70, 80. I think that would be a great goal for them too. And even if you get Moncada just okay, you got your contract coming up, like just get a little bit better than last season. I think the Sox could not lose 100 games.
I mean, that's what's the over under 63.5? I mean,
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
So here's my thing on Moncada. He's he's having a decent spring and everything like that, but doesn't it give you those vibes last year during the World Baseball Classic when he was absolutely a fucking world beater and then all of a sudden turned back into a pumpkin when we needed him? That's what I'm afraid of is, he's just out there right now having the time, enjoying the spring. And then as soon as he starts getting into that, like a little bit of April cold weather, that back's going to go and he's going to go right back where he came from.
The back is a problem. The one thing I will say is though, contract years, that's when people maybe start playing with a little more of the nagging injuries or you want to get your at bats. So maybe he's not as soft, if you will. Yeah. The other thing, Jason, and I kind of made fun of Andrew Vaughn for he can't have a bounce back year if he's never bounced back from anything. But if we do think that, Benintendi and then Moncada and then Luis and then Eloy, those are 4 professional ass hitters. We make fun of the rest of the White Sox, but I mean, those guys 1 through 4 can do something. But Andrew Vaughn sitting in that 5-hole worries me because that's when the lineup turns over and it's just if Andrew Vaughn's not hitting, that's just 2.5 innings of just dead fucking batters. Like we do need Andrew Vaughn to do something, at least a little bit of something.
You get that first and third, you get that second and third or something, and then he comes up, and then there you go, back to the dugout. Johnny, what are you gonna say?
Zoe keeps on mentioning about polecats.
Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, Portia says you owe her $20, Johnny.
Now I know he's lying because she doesn't go there. She goes there Tuesdays. So
see, there you go.
That's when $10 dances are, right? Is Tuesdays $10 lap dances?
Yeah, they're half off.
All right, I got a question before we move on from White Sox talk because it was all over the internet this weekend, and like people were pissed off because Zach Remillard bunted one at bat after hitting a 400-foot home run. And while I'm not a bunt guy, don't bunt. I'm not a bunt guy. I didn't really care because it's spring training. This is when you try things. This is when you figure out like who can bunt and who can't, and what you got and all these people. If you're really pissed off, I mean Zach Remillard, he hit a 400-foot home run. Good, congratulations. He was never gonna hit back-to-back home runs, so who gives a fuck? But I just saw the internet like on fire because Pedro told him to bunt with 2 outs and nobody on, which I mean, obviously you don't like to see that. And I don't want to defend Pedro because he doesn't need defending, but I didn't think it was like, oh yeah, this is what spring training is. You see, and you get kind of weird with things.
Yeah. I think I don't mind the bunting. I just don't do it like when during games. Okay, I'm trying to get my thoughts here. Like during games last year, too many times would be like, why the fuck is Pedro calling for a bunt? Why is he like just have your whether it was like Moncada or someone or just any one of your guy like your bats like taking a bunt like just because we needed to move a guy along. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a situation where maybe you're trying to get like a suicide squeeze or you got a guy that who's playing up and you know you can get go to the other side and get a guy over, like whatever it is. I'm okay with some situational bunting, but I don't like bunting for the sake of bunting. Yeah. But as long as they got someone who can actually do it when it's needed, then yes, you practice it in spring training. You do it in some game action, and then call it when it's actually needed.
Yeah, I would totally be down with that too. Like, practice. Yes, that's what spring training is all about. But, I don't know, like why don't you make it into like a situation where you could actually practice it, where you're moving a guy over, I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good
but,
one.
I don't know. I think that there's a certain level of people putting way too much weight on spring training
That's what we
games.
do, or people do.
Yeah, I mean, dude, did you see that like Miami Marlins like fucking like 2 weeks ago? They had nobody on first and it was 2 outs and they tried turning a double play. It was like like
You sent that last week, and we probably should have
Yeah.
clipped it the show on the podcast. I thought that was funny. I also thought like with teams, especially like the White Sox that were so shitty defensively, they should be doing that all the time in spring training. If it's
Right.
2 outs, keep practicing your double plays
Trying
because
to
you need
turn.
them.
Yeah.
So it's like it looked weird on camera, and the announcers kind of made fun of them for doing
Yeah.
it. But if I'm Pedro, I'm like, this is actually a kind of good idea. I don't care if there's nobody on first and second. Practice your
Yeah.
double plays in game. If there's
Right.
2 outs, turn that sucker.
Because if you can't get them like in that situation, yeah, I agree with that. Because if you try turning it and you still don't get the guy at first, then you have to work on your speed
Mhm.
and your release to get to turn that double play. Because not all the time you're going to have some slow motherfucker like jogging the first base. You might have like a sprinter
Yeah.
going in. If you got
Live
he
action.
grounds at the third, you need that. You need that timing. And so yeah, hey, you know what? I want to see that every fucking time now.
I'm gonna clip this.
Even
Clip this.
in-game.
Send it to Arizona. We got an idea for Pedro. Turn
Oh,
2.
Yeah. All right. So go Sox, I guess.
What do you mean? I guess yes. Go Sox.
Yeah.
No, I know. Go. It's hard for watching the offense right now, though.
It's what it's gonna be. We talked about it
It's
last
been
week.
hard a
know.
very long time.
It's gonna be a
Very
lot of
long
3-1 games. If they do win games, it's gonna be 3-1, 4-2 at most.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay, so let us talk. There was another thing that came out this week, and we said we weren't going to talk Bears. We said we weren't going to talk Bears. We're not going to talk Justin Fields and Caleb Williams and all that stuff. But there was something that came out that was interesting, and it was players gave their teams report. They had the report cards for their teams, and they rate a whole bunch of things between like the facility, the training, the food, all that good stuff. So here's the Bears team grades report card. They gave the weight room an A, locker room A minus, owner B plus. Now this one I want to circle back to. Training room B plus, training staff B, head coach B, strength coaches B, team travel B, treatment of family C plus, nutritionist dietitian C plus, food cafeteria C. All right. First, I want to start with the owner and the head coach. They need to name names now. I want to know who's giving the McCaskies a B plus in ownership here. Is this every player, or is it a sample size? But like, if the Bears players are giving McCaskey in Virginia a B plus, I'm sorry, I gotta challenge the credibility of these report cards here, especially and also with head coach.
From what I understand, like the NFLPA send out. So this is the second year they did this, and it is like all the players like do these report cards. So they got passing grades, which is shocking. That's why I wanted to talk about it. I thought, Jason, your jaw was going to be on the floor.
It was.
So yeah, 10th overall in the NFL for the Bears in these NFLPA grades. And there's a couple teams that were kind of shocking, like the Chiefs and the Steelers, that were bottom of the barrel for this. So this does have a lot to do with off the field stuff, whether it be the plane rides and the food and like the daycare center for their kids and things like that. But it goes to a bigger thing that from what I read, a lot of this had to do with the players being happy with Kevin Warren and how he's been doing things for the last 10 months, which is like, oh, this is interesting, because us as fans, we've been yelling like, what does Kevin Warren do? And like, what has he done for the Bears since taking the office? But it sounds like behind the scenes, he's been working to get this franchise into a professional. Dougie's going working. But yeah, this was shocking. And I guess it's a good thing. I want my players on my teams to be happy. I want them to go into work and not have shit to complain about, or not have sewage leaks like the Washington Commanders, or get charged for daycare like the Chargers. Just random things that come out throughout the league. That's like, holy shit, some of these people are still operating these businesses like if it was the 1960s or 70s. So I'm happy that the Bears got, a good grade.
There is an obvious, like, me, the big guy. I love my big guys. You can't have your worst grade be a C on the food. No wonder why none of the big guys want to come here. If they're not eating good, they're going to, the big guys talk. The big guys talk, and if they're not eating good, this isn't going to be a destination stop for them.
Especially in Chicago with all the food places we got here.
How about it?
And all the chefs, like.
Oh, yeah. That kind of blows my mind. That was like the worst part of the Bears was the food, which is just mind blowing.
Well, apparently I was like the food in the press box was even worse. That the media does these too. Like the beat reporters, they all gave the food last year an F. And apparently that was one of the things Kevin Warren made an effort to correct was press box food. And so I guess that's a lot better this year at least for the press. Who's I'm fucking blanking his name, the ESPN guy for the Bears beat reporter for the Bears.
The ESPN one for ESPN Chicago, or
yeah. I know Courtney Cronin does a lot of stuff, but there's another guy who's out they have on there too. I'm blanking on his name. It's that he was the one who was talking about it. Never mind. But another thing I wanted to bring up too was let me put this back up here real quick in our fancy new test layout.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dougie, you were talking about the food and everything with the treatment of families too. Like,
yeah.
You got to have that as like that's got to be an A across the board. Like I don't know. What are you doing that makes you like for your kids with daycare and stuff like that? Like, are you like Peter said? Are you charging them as your like?
The Bears are not.
Okay, well, okay, that's good. But like, then what is your facility like? Is it just an empty like conference room that they're putting their kids in or something? Like, you got the money, you got some room. Put like an actual like daycare center in there.
So from what I read, the treatment of families, a lot of it has to do with like game day experience. So like where are they sitting during the game? Like the suites that they're allowed to sit in or not allowed to sit in. The daycare for in-game or like Sundays and things like that. And yeah, like obviously Soldier Field probably doesn't have a actual daycare. It's a conference room or a meeting room with some things for them. But a lot of it has to do with travel for away games. So some franchises do accommodate and help teams or players with their families travel for away games. And then other teams, like you're on your own. You have to book the hotel, you have to book the airfare, you have to do all of that. So when it comes to that stuff, like some teams are very hands-on and other teams are like, you're traveling away game. That's your responsibility. So that's where the C+ A and stuff like that falls.
I think what's worse though is that the Bears were 10th in this overall poll and Green Bay was 3rd.
I know.
So
man.
Once again, they fucked us again, man. Green Bay's top 3. We can't win anything against them, man.
We might complain about them. They're a well-run organization.
Do you know who was number 1?
Oh, that's a good question. I had it. I'm not going to find it on my phone. I've got my camera roll is a disaster roll right now because of AI, because of the AI images that we're going to show in a little bit. So, I did have it, Johnny. I'm sorry I don't have it with me.
Yeah,
fair enough.
All right, so that was our Bears report card talk, and now
Zoe was asking about the trade. We did talk about the trade. We obviously are happy that they're shoring up the offensive line, but we don't really have any pro football focused grades on him yet or anything like that. So if you guys want to spout off in the comments, I'd be happy to read it out.
I think Drew looked it up. I think it was Miami Dolphins as the number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay. Well, they actually do have a nightclub in their stadium, so I guess for all
Jason,
the players taking their side chicks. Baby mamas drop the kids at daycare. Side chicks go up to the club. World class facility. Everybody wins. All right, Peter, you want to take it away?
All right, we're ready for the nonsense portion of the the podcast. Dude, it's been everywhere. Like, you know, AI generated images all over White Sox Twitter and just everywhere in general. So I got into it. Actually, Julie was the one that like originally started doing it. She found like a Bing website that like you could, you know, create images using artificial intelligence. So what I wanted to do is to pick your guys' brains and see how you would describe each other and see what the images were. So I'll start off. So because I gave you guys my examples before. So I'll start off. For Dougie, I said happy bearded construction worker that likes to drink beer and cook. And this is exactly what it's came out to be. So I was pretty happy with Dougie's AI images. What do you guys think?
That's
I mean,
awesome.
that's spot on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely spot on.
I mean, the tomahawk steak. I don't know if that's supposed to be a tomahawk or not, but it's a pretty funky looking.
So this is why we're gonna get into it. And so I should mention, I put the best AI images to start. They get worse the longer we go on this slideshow. But you guys know, like the computer generated stuff, like it's still figuring things out. It's still like in the infancy. Like whenever you spell things, there's gonna be like 2 O's for White Sox or like, you know, like it's just really weird with that stuff. So my next one, I got them written down. So my next one was Jason, and I said angry guy in his pajamas with snacks.
That's awesome. Throw a beard on me, dude, and that might be spot on. Even though I'm not a robe guy though.
So but, here's the thing about AI images, and this is something I found doing this when I asked your guys' descriptions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whenever you type in facial hair or non-facial hair, it doesn't know what to do with it. It took me forever to get images of myself, because when you say like clean shaven or like no beard, it goes wonky and it gives you like more facial hair. So I'm glad, Jason, like this was as close as I got, and this was like first try. So I was like, I'm happy with it. So
Johnny,
for Johnny, I said in shape Hispanic male with mustache at a bar named Turtles. And if you see in the background, that was it says Turtles on there. Johnny, what do you think? This is pretty good, right? This is pretty flattering.
Yeah, but the Turtles logo, it looks like a bear.
It looks like a buffalo or something like that. But dude, everyone in the comments, look at this.
Man,
it doesn't even
look
like
Johnny, man. Like, you know, I guarantee the artificial Johnny would take the kissing booth in Lot B for a tailgate.
That's probably true. We could probably
you know how much money how much money we would make with artificial Johnny in a kissing booth?
Probably.
So when I talked about the beard and not being able to figure it out, for myself, I put heavy set Hispanic male with black rimmed glasses behind a wall of bourbon. And the beard thing didn't work out, but I purposely dressed like this to try to see if this works. What do you think?
They almost nailed the hair on you.
The hair, I got the flannel, and the background, you know, I said comic books and whiskey.
Pretty looks good, like you got some, looks like ancient age and Jim Beam bottles back there. Yeah.
I put bourbon and whiskey for a lot of us because obviously we're the bourbon bums and things like that. The AI's got to figure out the whiskey selection better.
That's pretty good.
All right, Dougie, you're next. So give me your description of Johnny.
All right. I went like super descriptive with a lot of things. So I said gym rat, mustache, bar guy, and then I just threw in random stuff. Illini fan, records, spiked lemonade, backwards hat, and muscles.
Oh.
Look at this guy.
The artificial Johnnies are gonna have to have like a contest, like a walk-off or something, man.
All of the artificial Johnny. I'm not gonna lie. My artificial intelligence is not flattering, but we could sell a calendar of Johnny's AI images. We could do January through December and sell it in the merch shop.
It looks like I'm looking in the mirror right now. That's crazy.
lot of woods.
Yeah, I mean,
Artificial Johnny making people switch teams.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start getting that mustache going a little bit more. Get it like, kind of like that.
Handlebar.
all right, Dougie. What did you say for Jason?
All right, Jason. I said bourbon elitist, junk food lover, lamp, stays horny, lemon tree, claps cheeks, cocktail snob, homebody, desk job, not a morning person, balding.
The same one from the previous one.
It's the same person, just a different background and expression and stuff like that.
So I went from having no hair and a burger. Now I have apples and an old fashioned.
I think
And a
that was
great
the
beer.
lemon tree. The lemon tree threw it off and it just
Okay.
tossed some fruit into the table.
Oh man.
The pictures in the pack are so funny too.
Just a random teddy bear in there.
Jason, what do you think? This could be you in 10 years.
It's me now, dude.
I was giving you some credit. All right, Dougie, what did you say for me?
All right. For you, I said Bologna, US Soccer, Jordan's, Landscaper, Modelo, Whiskey, Glasses, Sci-Fi Movie Nerd, Tacos, Choco Taco, Field Goal Kicker.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now, the AI didn't put half of that shit in there,
Okay.
but I picked the funniest one,
Hmm.
which also hurt my feelings. But see, I take one for the team. I love this picture.
That's crazy,
What
dude.
the
Nowhere did I
hell?
say fat. But
Hey Peter,
Yeah,
your moose knuckle showing.
it's mean. That's a fupa.
oh, dude, this is like Kung Fu Peter.
It is. It's Kung
Yeah.
Fu Panda. All right, Dougie, give me yours now.
All right, mine. I said big beard, cigars, cooking, whiskey, beer, hat guy, heavy equipment operator, international traveler, bald, and heavy set.
All right. For yours, it took a lot of the AI images, but only very specific ones. And I kind of love your picture, Dougie.
Okay.
You're a fucking mob boss in Miami, dude.
I kind of want you to recreate this picture next time you go into work on a
I can
hot day.
100%
Just recreate that sucker.
I
You got
can.
the cigar, you got the heavy equipment working. It's beautiful. You look like a badass
That
in
is,
this
that is
picture.
totally like fucking like drug cartel Dougie right there, man. That is awesome.
Shit.
That's
That's good.
That's a white Rick Ross.
The boss.
Oh, that is awesome.
All right. So the next descriptions are Johnny. So I said we went progressively more descriptive to less descriptive. When I sent out the text, I said, be as detailed as you want or not. And Dougie, you did a great job. You were the most descriptive of the three.
Okay.
Johnny's and Jason's were very generic. So the AI kind of didn't know what to do with it. But I took the best ones of the generated pictures. So Johnny, give me
Well,
Jason's
Hold on,
first.
before Johnny goes, you didn't really set any guidelines if we had to be how to word it. You just said do a description. Like was it supposed to be just keywords or was it like sentences? Because like
This is
would have helped with some
open-ended, my
guidelines.
man. Dougie nailed it.
'cause I could have used keywords too if I knew that's what it was gonna.
Well,
Give me
we're
the
gonna
best
get
image.
we're gonna get to yours ones because the last one I have is low key bullshit. So we're gonna get to you, Jason. Let's go to Johnny first. Johnny, what did you have for Jason first?
All right, Jason, I had unhinged, bourbon collector, fuck them kids mentality, Passionate Chicago sports fan.
So it wouldn't let me type that in. I copied and pasted exactly how you said it.
Yeah.
Because of the fuck them kids, you can't probably type that into a computer. Or
Well,
generate
no.
So,
I was hoping you kind of got what I was trying to get at.
So I did.
Yeah.
I tried to. I reworded some things, and this is what they gave you. I tried to keep it as close to what you sent.
I look like Brian Cage.
You're scaring this kid. That's basically.
Kidnap them or something, man. Shit. Hold them for ransom.
So I had to say dislikes kids, and that's what it came out to.
Actually, Jason could probably pull that off.
You probably
could
can do
probably
a little.
Look at my beard's
little,
not that. Look at my beard doesn't get that long.
Yeah,
got the
I don't know
gray,
what
though.
the teddy bear in the background again.
Dude.
Yeah, what the hell? Why do I got 2 teddy bears in my pictures, man? Like,
I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I'm scared that like some teddy bear is gonna come murder me, and like it's like one of those omens. Like you just like everywhere you look, you see a teddy bear, and now it's like, should I be worried that the teddy bear is gonna fucking kill me?
Oh,
All right,
God.
Johnny, what do you have for Dougie?
Yeah, mine are bad. I'm sorry. Season ticket sports fanatic. Obviously, you're a Hawks and Sox like season ticket holder. Chef, good heart, greatest beard, bourbon beard lover. There you go.
You got a flyer.
I think it just copied all of the descriptions and kind of put it into a flyer. So this is like a vote for Dougie.
Yeah, it's like an ad for like Duluth underwear or something.
Duluth Trading Co. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
You look like a nice. You look like you're gonna like. It's like the menu for at Paul Bunyan's.
Yeah, Twin Peaks or something like that. All right, then what do you got for me?
Passionate soccer fan, movie music buff, social media butterfly, bourbon lover, and logical about sports takes.
Passionate soccer.
Fonker fan. You're Peter. I didn't know you were a Fonker fan.
Yeah, I love all things Fonker.
Fan Ivy.
Yeah.
How does as smart as computers are and they spell check the fuck out of us? How can AI not know how to spell correctly?
I didn't really do any research on how it comes up with those things, but it's got some issues with the spelling for sure. They could be a Chicago sports bum. We should just create this is our own AI because we can't spell for shit either.
Nusaley, Burmel Bitterperfly. Bitterfly.
I think we broke AI. They said enough with these bums. All right, and then Johnny, what'd you say for yourself?
Gym freak, Bear Sox Illini fan, artist, killer mustache, quick witted.
Killer mustache.
You got fucking cheats, man.
This was by far my favorite one. This was
they don't even look like me.
Dude, it's like an unemployed bozo. Holy shit.
As much as I said we could.
He is a Bars fan, and he's a Bars fan and a White fan. Johnny, man, you want to talk about how you're a White fan?
Oh my god!
So you want to tell us? Were you at the Capitol January 6th?
It was not
like,
there.
It's like Sideshow Bob without the makeup or something.
Dude.
No, I look like that movie critic. You know that movie critic? Do you remember that guy? I have to pull it up, but that's what I look like. Why does he have a broom?
I think
that's your paintbrush, dude.
It's a gigantic paintbrush.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're an artist. Johnny Jim.
I think you put killer mustache and it said a killer with a mustache. That's the only thing I could think. That's the only thing I could think of. All right, Jason, it's your turn. And I should mention we'll get to your final one at the end, but give me Johnny's description first.
All right. Johnny's I put Short, muscular mustache man who works out and drinks lemonade while wearing Illini jerseys.
All right.
Oh,
Another good one. Yeah.
Look at you. That's like looks like Asian Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but like the hair is good. The mustache is a little much, but you think you could grow one that big?
Probably.
Curl it up?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I
I like how everyone picked up on the lemonade drinking. Is this a
Yeah.
new thing, Johnny, or have you always been a lemonade? I don't remember this. I didn't
Well,
I didn't put
well,
lemonade, but Dougie and Jason did.
I mean, I drink a lot of seltzers. I or mixed drink. Oh, it's probably I drink a lot of like kettle and lemonade.
Mhm.
That's I drink a lot of that because I kind of switched from that because I stopped drinking beer so much. So I've done a lot of kettle and lemonade. Now that makes sense because I'm like, where the fuck is this lemonade shit coming from?
Well, you ordered a lemonade out dinner on Wednesday.
Well, because I'm driving. I'm not gonna drink and drive. Plus, I have to like get home. So I'm trying to be responsible here, man.
I know.
Good point. Give me Dougie's description, Jason.
All right, Dougie's. Jolly bearded construction guy who digs holes while drinking bourbon. He also cooks a lot of tacos.
He's literally in a hole. I look at he's having lunch.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
Hey.
dude, what is by my hand by the beer? What is that?
I would assume that is your dildo.
Shit.
I didn't go that route. I thought it was like the marking spray paint. When you gotta dig, you gotta mark the area first. That's what I assumed it was, but it might be something
No,
else.
that's very penis shaped.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, I also
I didn't put the description, Dougie, but the AI never lies.
Well, it's a good time to do a promo for your Celeste show and night calls. Oh, Jesus. That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. Total dildo.
I like how whenever you say jolly, it immediately turns into Christmas. So that's what that happened. All right, two more.
Also, I dig the tattoos on you, Dougie.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, pretty good. This guy's
Sleeve
a
going,
handsome
man.
Dougie. Hipster Dougie.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got for me, Jason?
All right, for you, Peter. It sounded when I typed it out, it sounded so bad.
Yeah, I liked it. I said right away. I laughed out loud.
All right, you, a hipster emo pig who drinks bourbon and wears glasses.
I mean, I do have the Bologna brand. I think you got the shirt with the pig. Julie, I got the hat with the pig. I knew where you were going with it, but I like this guy.
Because if I said bologna, you're gonna get the
bologna.
meat.
Yeah, I would have been a slice of bologna.
I like that. That pig looks like he knows stuff, man. Like
It's
that
cute.
pig drinks and he knows things.
Yeah, we would bring that pig to Lot B. We could sell tickets.
Oh, that's good.
All right, last one, Jason. What did you say for yourself? This was the most ridiculous. I like this motherfucker.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't like do something like this. For me, I put Bourbon King, Bourbon God.
Jeez.
What the fuck?
Accurate.
I like.
There's me and my wife
I
reigning
like
over the
that's-
Bourbon Kingdom.
I like that Sarah has her back turned to you, probably because she's pissed off at how much bourbon you spent.
She's got her glass of wine. She's happy.
Oh my god.
Oh man, look at all those fancy decanters of bourbon. Only a true bourbon guy will be able to have a collection like that.
That was
I
it.
rule
No
over you.
other description, no other anything. And at first, I was gonna text back. I'm like, give me a real one. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This isn't what we're rolling.
Well, I also forgot to send these to you. And what was Saturday night? I forgot we were in the middle. I think we were finishing watching something, and I just had to write back to you real quick. So I did you and like ours like on the fly real quick. But god damn it, I do a good job on mine.
Get the fuck out of here. All right, I got one last one. I got a surprise one. I tried to describe all four of us as the Chicago sports bums, and I broke the internet. I couldn't do it. Like, I tried a bunch of different ways, and this is the best one that came out.
All right, so wait, am I bottom left then?
I don't know. We're gonna have to pick. You guys, I didn't really give it guidelines of like who was who. I just described four people as the Chicago sports bums. I didn't give them like team. I just said generate it. So yeah, I would assume I'm the guy with glasses.
Yeah. Even though I could pull for
Maybe-
Johnny too without
maybe
the guy,
Johnny.
you know.
Yeah.
I think with all my gray though, I think I'm definitely bottom left.
I would say you're bottom left, and I thought, I mean, Johnny and Dougie are basically the same person. Like, you just kind of pick and choose. I never, Johnny, you want to pierce your ear? You could be the Bears guy.
Yeah, it kind of looks like our buddy John.
It
Hockey
does look
guy.
like John. Hockey
Yeah.
John, yeah.
That's good
So,
stuff
yeah.
though.
That was the computer generated bums.
Oh, that was funny.
Wow. That was good stuff, Peter. When you told me about that idea the other day, I was in my car when you called me, and I was like, that's immediately comic gold right there. I knew that was going to pump out some funny images.
And I should have mentioned before we started this segment, this is just not going to play for the podcast listeners. So if you are listening on Spotify or Apple or Google Play,
No,
subscribe to the
I killed the audio.
yeah, subscribe to the
I killed the
YouTube,
audio
because it's
the
not
audio version.
not even worth it. We've moved on to being a more visual show, and the more you listen on the podcast, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to our bums and MVBs and close out the show, I just real quick want to remind everyone, Night Calls, Spaghetti and Meatball, my new show with Celeste Spaghetti. We're doing this Sunday at 5 p.m. We didn't want to go up against the Oscars, so we're doing an earlier start time. Normally it would be 8 o'clock, but we didn't want to. So we were actually going to do it yesterday, but Celeste had like LASIK. She had LASIK done, so her eyes were all raccoony and shaded and everything. So, but yeah, next Sunday is our first show, and then we're going to do about once a month at 8 o'clock on Sundays. But we appreciate if people who's like, subscribe, and shared our page. And then we've dropped today, we're taking submissions. So make sure you drop your sex questions, dating, relationship topics you want us to discuss, anything of that nature. It's all on the table. So it's going to get as unhinged as we can. We're going to have some articles that we're going to discuss, like relationship articles and stuff like that. But it's mostly going to be, we want to make it like very much listener based and everything like that. And yes, Father Zoe, I am sorry that the Golden Girls 5 p.m. like I said, didn't want to go up against the Oscars. That's a bad decision to go up against.
Terezi mentioned it on the Au Jus today too. I thought it was pretty funny. It's going to be Night Calls. The sun's still out. It's going to be
I know
golden hour.
It's daylight savings that day, the day before, so that means it's going to be even brighter out at 5 o'clock. So one time only for 5 o'clock. We didn't want to push back the show another couple of weeks, or do it on St. Patrick's Day. So we're running through it. So appreciate everyone. Submit those questions, submit your topics, your advice that you want us to give you, and we'll be happy to give you some bad advice. All right, let's get to some bumming.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
A bum. All right, so let's start off with our listeners. First up, the original Mr. Joey P, the fifth bum of the week. Folks that needed to stand in the aisle and after landing at the airport. Sounds familiar. No one is going anywhere until they open the freaking door. Dougie, that almost won the tournament.
Yeah, it had a good run until it met up with against
Deadbeat
Dads. Yeah.
MVB, the new men's room at Peter, you take that one.
The new men's room in Morelia, Michoacan, at Mexico's international airport. Midway Airport badly needs to hire these folks, and I've got 3 pictures to show you guys. And while I do think the bathroom looks great, I've got a quick nitpick on this. What do you guys notice?
How garbage cans under the sink? Oh wait, no, that they got the holes in there.
Dude, the floor to ceiling stalls is gonna kill somebody. You're gonna fumigate yourself in there. You're gonna die. You need you know it's not gonna have adequate ventilation and stuff like that. Can you imagine walking into one of these motherfuckers at any time of the day, especially after a breakfast burrito or something like that? There's a reason why, you know, they're partitions. You need the air circulating. This is gonna kill somebody.
No, yeah. Now that I see it, yep, you're right. Plus, I like the little, like, you have to have, like, the little space in the bottom so you know someone's in there. You know,
I'm sure the door's
See some
locked
feet?
and, you know,
Yeah, I know.
occupado or
Praz. Someone was like to smell our own shit.
yeah, fine. You know, he who smelt it Delta, whatever. Like, yeah, you could deal with your own stuff, but when you're walking in and out of that thing, that's going to be a problem. No, man, Jack, great for doing drugs in there. That's a great point. That's probably
Great point.
Mexico
Also great for disposing bodies too from the drug cartels.
Joey P. Shout out Joey P's in Mexico, still in the comments. Aaron did the same thing last week.
Yeah, we love all of our
going
Mexico watch
international.
hours are going to go. Our international watch hours are going through the roof. Bum of the week: climate change. I'm going to table this because we have some other ones with climate change, so I'll bring that back. MVB or Nulop Bitum for helping me get over Matt Thomas.
To tell you the truth, I didn't even Google what and who or what is an Onula Bitum.
He's a Turkish player on the Bulls that he just signed to a 2-way deal.
He's on a Bulls. He's on the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Not my Bulls.
Apparently, he won some dunk contests too.
All right, cool.
I had to Google that because coming from Sam, I had to make sure it wasn't some like geeky porn or some shit. So I don't know. That could be some like sex fetish or something to help him get over Matt Thomas. So I gotta make sure this is safe for me to talk about. Not
Could have been anybody.
Anything unsafe for me to talk about, but I wanted to make sure I was getting myself into. All right, Roxy MVB Sting after his last match. Yeah, that was great. Bum of the week: climate change. Again, we're gonna table that. We got some more on that. But yeah, that Sting match was great yesterday. That was a great way for him to end his career. Okay, Missy MVB global warming weather. Bum global warming, and I'll say yes, global warming is a bad thing, but it sounds like all you people love 30 degrees in February. I personally love 70 degrees in February and beginning of March. So as much as global warming is all and climate change is a bad thing, I don't mind the warmer Februarys.
Yeah, as someone with kids, it's worrisome for their generation. But me as a landscaper, my season lasts a lot longer in the spring. It starts earlier and lasts longer in the fall. Maybe I'm leaving them a little more money to worry about the climate change whenever I do go. So it is it's kind of a good thing. I mean, it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It is a problem. But in Summertime Shy, you posted the tweet out there. Aracheras sold out this weekend.
Yes.
We're stimulating the economy, baby.
Yeah.
That was a decent price though, too.
$7.99. I saw that. Yeah. No, right away I was like, whoa.
No wonder that shit was fucking sold out, man.
Tony's is a good deal for Arachera.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, what we got next? Spooky Sweet 13 MVB is Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Sure. Good for him. He had a good career, even though he's not a Bear.
All right. So counterpoint to Sam Reed saying February tornadoes are cool. Yeah, tornadoes are cool. Blizzards in California in February are a problem. But Father Zoe went golfing today. So, tomato kind of thing.
I'll counter with his February tornadoes are not cool because I just got a shit ton of hail damage to my siding and my roof, and now I am out $4,000.
Oh, there you go. See, there's good and bads, like everything else. The scales
Wearing,
of justice.
wearing shorts in February, cool. Repairing siding, not cool.
But yeah, Jason Kelsey, happy retirement. Sounded like an awesome speech. I didn't see all of it. Seems like it went on forever. But he was, I mean, obviously, first ballot Hall of Famer. Congrats.
All right, Spags. Forgot this moment away from the last pay-per-view at HBIC is the asshole who made Malort that shit is nasty. MVP is Dougie for killing it on his weight loss journey, even after still being sick. Yes, good for you, Dougie. Don't rope me in just for I did not force people to drink Malort. Maybe I did, but also Aaron loves it just as much as I do. So gotta have that Malort.
Yeah, I mean, Spags, I mean, no offense. You're a grown ass man. If you can't handle a little bit of Malort, what are we doing here, man? Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. We're gonna keep doing it because Connor Bedard's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. SPF Bum of the Week out of Chicago Blackhawks for not taking care of business when Bedard was getting targeted. He's going to float to another team down the road when he realizes management won't get some bruisers on the team. Peter, you said he made a valid point with that. If they don't sign some big boys and some street toughs,
it doesn't have to be big boys. It doesn't have to be street toughs. All these bum-ass bums on the Blackhawks right now are fighting for contracts. There's maybe 3 players worth a damn. If you're trying to stay in the NHL, maybe get on Connor Bedard's good graces. I don't care how big you are. You got to protect your assets. You got to protect your teammates. You got to protect the golden goose. So yeah, would it be good to get some enforcers? Yes, but there's no enforcers now on the Blackhawks. So they got to figure that out between themselves, because he can't keep getting railroaded every other game, because he is going to get pissed off about it, and then we're going to have problems. So we need the Blackhawks to figure it out.
Yeah. And that's kind of honestly the sad part too is, to sign an enforcer and put him on the same line as him to defend him, he's got to be a decent player then, otherwise that's just going to drag his game down too. So they're going to have to spend some money on that. That's definitely for sure.
And staying on the Hawks, another bum is Seth Jones. He's average at best. Not sure what the Hawks were thinking when they acquired him. He's been a total fucking bust in every city he's been in. Yeah, Peter, when you tweet out about Blackhawks stuff from the main account, you're pretty anti Seth Jones, and I don't disagree with you.
I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money. I was happy with the signing when it happened. I thought he would be good for the Blackhawks, but he's been bad. Obviously he plays a lot because he has to. There's no one else that's a decent defender. But his decision making, everything about it is bad. He's slow. I am not a Seth Jones fan. So yeah, I'm an SPF fan. I'm not a Blues fan like SPF. So I hate that he's making all these very, very good Blackhawks points, but he's nailed it.
Blackhawks are going to be very defense heavy in the top of the draft this year.
Yeah.
But I will say MVB, and I hate reading this. For me, is that shitbag Ken Wo. It was nice to see him ripping his daughter's dance squad, other than his shitty opinions and horrible hot takes. Hey, gotta give the man his good father. Gotta give the man his flowers. So
girl dad. And to tell you the truth, I think I could speak with all of us. I've never had an issue with Ken WO, or we've barely ever interacted in general. No. I don't even think he knows who we are. So he could be the worst person in the world. He could be the best person in the world. It seemed like he was happy that his daughter's cheerleading competition or whatever went on well. So that's a good thing in my book. So I thought about not putting this one on, but I want to keep, if you're going to submit to the bums, we're going to put you on the screen because we appreciate everybody.
Yep. Yeah. Tap City, baby. MVB March Madness coming up. Always fun. Bum. Blue Jackets fans talking shit on Saturday. You're still last in your conference. Congrats. Yeah. If you're not better than us or moderately better than us, don't talk shit.
Moderately better.
That's not saying much. We're the worst team in hockey. Aaron, 6-3 Whiskey, MVB, women's basketball getting the attention deserves. Yep, I have a tweet on that, or when we get to our MVBs. Bum of the week. Dudes continuing to say Caitlin Clark is overrated. They could dog walk her, and her stats aren't as valuable as men's stats. Yeah. I'm gonna table this because we're gonna talk about this in a little bit. So.
Oh yeah. All right. Cool. Did I lose one? What happened here? Hold, please.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Technical difficulties. There it is.
We got it.
All right. And finally, Mailman Jack. MVB got to be Taco Gladiator for joining in on the Fire Blackhawks simultaneous drinking parlay and opening up his timeline to lots of soccer tweets.
Tonight, and I just want to offer up a shot to you guys and everybody else that's following along tonight with either the Fire or the Blackhawks. I'm still trying to figure out the whole soccer thing. Maybe the bums can explain it to me at some point, so I get a little bit better understanding of why there's so many goddamn people on the field and so little scoring. Anyway, cheers, bottoms up, and this one's for you guys.
Yeah, hell yeah, Jared.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Jer.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
And finally, bum of the week. Got to be everyone who said to me, "You won't be wearing those shorts tomorrow." To me at work today. Oh, you don't know me very well. Once I air these legs out, there's no going back. Wahaha. Yeah. Once I got once the shorts on, I'm wearing it out until October now. So sweatpants are going away.
I mean, Dougie busted out the shorts. Like I think we were at a Hawks game in January, and you were wearing shorts when we went. Jason, did you go? I haven't pulled out the shorts yet.
I'm wearing shorts today.
I could see them in the tote, in my summer tote, but I haven't done it just yet. You got the shorts on?
I got the shorts on.
All right, very good.
All right. Finally, let's get to ours. I'm going to start it off since we tabled with the listener bums. My bum of the week is he's back in the tournament. Darren Ravel, for his when Caitlin Clark decided she announced for the NBA last week, or WNBA, sorry. Headline: Caitlin Clark chooses a $750,000 pay cut, and then he immediately got community noted. So good for him. But the best fucking player in all of probably NCAA history at this point, because she has a scoring title. So the best player in NCAA history, and this is what you say is when she decides to announce her decision to go pro. Not congratulations and all that good stuff that she deserves. No, it's she's taking a shot and saying she's a pay cut. And she's not going to take a pay cut because she's going to make so much more fucking money with her sponsors. That shoe money and all the other in her endorsement she has is going to fucking, like, I want to say quadruple, but maybe more than quadruple what she's going to be making. Because I don't do math, so I don't know what she's going to be making. But it's going to be a lot more than what her rookie salary is.
Yeah.
So Darren Ravel, he's a fucking piece of shit, man.
Big time.
All right. And then my MVB, I'm gonna pull up the video here. I mentioned it. I mentioned her name earlier in the show, but it's Courtney Cronin, Bears beat reporter for ESPN.
We're doing great. Thank you very much. We were able to play some of the sound from Caleb Williams in his press conference at Indianapolis. What did you glean from the conversation?
I mean, he's incredibly confident, right? You guys took that as much as we did. It was such an incredible display of people that were there to watch him and everything else that kind of unfolded. All right, fuck this.
All right, we'll put it on hold.
Love it. I love she just got so fucking annoyed with ESPN and having the reverb in the back. Like she's just like, fuck this. I'm like not even putting up with it. Like good for her. She like if you're going on there, if you're taking time out of your day, especially like with the combine going on and everything, to do a radio segment, they better have their shit together because otherwise I don't blame her one iota for saying fuck this and walking.
I love Cap's reaction. Obviously, it's live radio, so you got to hit the dump button. But it sounded like he's never heard a swear word in his life,
dude.
Dougie doing it perfectly.
Fucking tool.
Yeah, so good for her. Well, yes, she is paid to go on, but you have to have your shit together before you get.
I just love how the reverb ended right as she was like, fuck this shit. It didn't reverb on that. That was awesome.
Nope.
Yumper says it's the soundboard guys.
I don't know audio. I'm just going to blame ESPN.
Maybe.
Yeah, blame ESPN. Get him.
All right. Johnny, you're up.
My MVP is actually my boss. And I'm going to explain here why. So he last time we went up to Green Bay, did not realize it until later that it was going to be a Monday that we're going to go up there, and I had to do the show up in the Green Bay hotel that I was at. So this time around, I'm actually going to go to Green Bay this week. He actually scheduled it so it's not on a Monday because he knows how important this podcast is to me. So he switched it over to the middle of the week. So, I gotta shout him out. So Dan, I do appreciate that for allowing me to do all this stuff. And then my what a bum is that guy who cut me off at the coffee shop.
Yeah, get him. Yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome that your boss, and we know him. We've all met him. Dan's an awesome guy. But yeah, the fact that you have to go up for work a couple times a month and he scheduled it so where you don't have to go on a Monday, that's huge.
Yes.
You know? I dig it. So shout out Dan. Good guy, Dan.
Yep.
Like it. All right. Dougie, you're up.
All right. So I'm going to start with my bum, Caleb Williams, for this little snippet right here.
Oh,
that's my fault. See,
It's okay.
blame the soundboard guy.
Fuck this.
After. I tried to model my game after a bunch of guys, but Aaron Rodgers, I would say, is number one.
All right, and then who would your favorite NFL player be of all time?
Aaron Rodgers.
Tough scene.
keep Justin Fields.
Yeah.
That being said, dude, if he plays them a little bit like Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't hate it. So it's a good guy to emulate your career on the field, maybe not off the field.
Yeah. Second bum is the impending political season. We're going to be dealing with basically the next month and a half of all the political ads and everything that's going to run. And I just despise those commercials and just everything that has to do with politics. I'm fucking over it. I don't like it. I fucking hate it. So they will be a forever bum for me.
Political ads. That's gonna be a top runner in the tournament next year.
Yeah. I see what you're
hard
doing
to
here. That's a smart call because that's gonna look really good on the graphic.
Yeah. And so MVP is going to be my Aunt Shirley tomorrow. My Aunt Shirley is going in for breast cancer removal surgery. So MVP, all my prayers and everything go out to her. She's one of a kind. So go get him, Aunt Shirley.
Yeah. Yes. Praise and thoughts, Dougie.
Hope for all the best. Hope for all the best, Dougie.
Thank you.
All right, Peter, take us home.
All right. So we talked about it in the Bums and MVPs. Roxy talked about Sting's last match. So AEW Revolution was yesterday. This spot from Darby Allin went kind of super viral because, I mean, he's a madman and he's trying to end his career early. He's a really good young wrestler. And he took this spot. I'm going to show you guys this. But pay attention to not only the wrestler jumping, but the people sitting right in the front row. So unnecessary spot by Darby. I mean, it's crazy. It's great. He went viral and it was crazy, but like that, it's a little much. And two, the people in the front row, like, I know it's tempered glass, so obviously it's not going to cut you all that bad. But when tempered glass breaks, it's still like pebbles or like, gravel hitting you. You got to sell that shit. It's wrestling. You're at a wrestling match. If I'm sitting front row, I'm blading myself Ric Flair style and bleeding from head to toe. Because you know who owns AEW? Tony Khan. And the Khan family owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got money. As soon as I see that glass flying, I'm doing everything I can to look like a Bull of the Butcher or something like that. Mick Foley. I'm gonna bleed in the front row, and by the end of the week, I'm owning the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got to have some sense of awareness, if you will.
Maybe next time they do this with a Darby Allin match, they do the same thing that they used to do back in the day with Gallagher shows, where they put the plastic covers so that way they don't get hit. Just a thought. I don't know.
Splash zone for Darby Allin matches. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, Darby Allin, we all like you. Please don't do a lot of those spots. But obviously, it went super viral. My other bum, while watching this exact wrestling match, our good friends at the Sadistic Penguin Studios and his crew of asses that he had as panel guests, Brian S. and the Drafty Pod. It was Jackie, it was Stoop Kid, it was Roxy, and it was Brian. They had, I think, one of the more entertaining drafts that he's done. Jason, me and you were watching that draft almost more than we were watching the wrestling. And I said we were like Stadler and Waldorf of like the Muppets, just yelling at the TV.
We hate watching it.
We were watching it like if it was a White Sox game in the beginning of the season. So they drafted their things, and obviously, please go watch that podcast too. As soon as you're done here, go watch it because it was entertaining. But Jason, we had thoughts.
Yeah, this is some of the worst fast food draft I've ever seen.
And like I said,
I have to give I'm like, shout out to Roxy for taking Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich, but it was the last overall pick. Like, why that waited until the very last? Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich waited until that's like 1-1 right there. That's an elite sandwich. Like pork tenderloin from Culver's, pot roast sandwich. Like what? Your people are giving me shit for fucking putting my new show on at 5:00 on a Sunday. That's fucking senior citizen food right there. You're eating.
Dude, I didn't even know that some of this shit existed.
That's what I said.
You know, and then Zombie Jackie, for her to take Portillo's fries and not take Portillo's cheese fries.
That's a pro move, Dougie. That's a pro move, Dougie. See, so we all have thoughts. Obviously, like, we love everyone involved. Jackie, Brian, Stoop, Roxy, huge fans. I love the show. I love being on the Drafty Pod. I've done a bunch of content with Brian. So by all means, go watch it. But oh my God, I think I asked them for permission. We're going to do a Mystery Science Theater 3000 type show where we judge them as this podcast goes along. Because the Dunkin' chicken and pepper wrap, I went to Dunkin' Donuts this morning on purpose. I didn't see there nowhere on the menu. She's making that. She made that up. There's no way that's on the menu. I've never seen it before.
Yeah. Got a lot of thoughts on that one. So we'll see.
All right. And then so to wrap it up, Herb's in the comments, and whether or not he was going to be in the comments, this was going to be my final MVB. The guys at CHGO are celebrating 2 years as the CHGO, the Chicago brand. They're awesome. Everyone involved, not only CHGO White Sox, we're close with Herb and Sean W. Anderson and Vinny, but I've been lucky enough to pick Kevin Kaduk's brain, the head of content, and he's awesome. The Braggs and all the people at CHGO Bears and CHGO Fire. We're huge CHGO fans. And the fact that they've been doing this for 2 years and they are steamrolling. Dude. I mean, they are awesome at what they do. So just congratulations. Happy 2nd anniversary. We're going to have Herb on in a couple weeks. But yeah, it's pretty cool because, you know, we're like a small iota. What I always say is like, we just hope we're entertaining people for an hour or two a week. And CHGO, I work. So for the last 20 years, I predominantly work at a work truck or on a mower or in the office. I'm by myself like 90% of the day. So I have headphones on and I'm consuming content like crazy. And for the last 2 years, it's been a shit ton of CHGO. So keep doing what you guys are doing because there's an audience and there's a thirsty audience for it. It's our Chicago sports fans.
Hell yeah.
And we also have to say thank for having us. For having Herb and CHGO for having us on that during Sox season last year. We really like that. So
yeah, that little stat sheet that they threw up was staggering, man.
Yeah, that's
some
cool,
of their
right?
numbers. It was very cool.
Yeah. So 2 weeks from tonight, Herb Lawrence will be on. And it's also the return of Lawrence versus Viking.
Julie, after I said that, she's like, you might be hyping this up too much, but I don't think so. I think Lawrence versus Viking is going to be a hit. I'm predicting that.
Yeah, it's like if there was like a cage. It's like for cage match ratings, like Meltzer Wrestling Star ratings. The Lawrence versus Viking is easily a 6-star segment because of how terrible it was. So we're apologizing in advance, Herb, for I'm going to taint you with Lawrence versus Viking forever.
No, I have a feeling he's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it. It was you bozos that didn't know what was happening.
That's true. That is true because I don't know shit.
And actually, I should preface that. So for those that don't know, I'll talk about it real quick. Joey P was on a podcast, and you guys are both St. Lawrence graduates, and so that's why I came up with a trivia: is it a Lawrence or a Viking? And you guys had to guess between the two, and it went off the rails immediately. So I shouldn't lump Johnny and Dougie into this. This was the St. Lawrence education, if you will, that got to us.
Wasn't that the episode where Joey P wore the fake mustache?
Yeah. He subbed in for Johnny.
Yeah.
I told him to do that.
That's awesome.
Blame Joey P. See?
There you go.
All right. And with that, we're going to end our show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. We'll be back next week. And make sure you tune in Sunday, 5 p.m. for Night Calls with me and Celeste, talking sex, dating, relationships. So I will see you guys on Sunday. But we will all see you all next week.
Yeah. Bums in the bleachers tomorrow, too. If you guys are into the Cub stuff, they'll be on at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Deuces.
Bye.